Welcome to the 10-Minute Food Truck Training Podcast. My name is Bill Moore. I'm the founder of Food Truck Training Group on Facebook, co-owner with my wife Melissa of our own food truck. It's called Food Truck 101, and I'm the executive director of National Street Food Vendors Association, a nonprofit dedicated to education, advocacy, and uplifting all food vendors. Today I'm going to be talking about the key ingredients that you might need in your food truck. But before I get into that, I want to remind you guys about the Food Truck Owners Expo in Houston, Texas this year, July 29th and 30th. I'm going to be there on both days giving 3 classes, as well as after those classes, I'll be out on the main expo floor in the Campfire Networking Lounge where you guys can sit down and talk to me and ask me any questions about the food truck industry. Or if you'd like to be a part of the education series, my 3 classes are how to write a profitable menu, what to do in the off season as far as marketing go, and then how we as food truck vendors need to speak with one voice to make changes in the legislative process that seems to be holding back some food truck vendors. Again, that's July 29th and 30th in Houston, Texas. Go to ftoexpo.com, place your order today, and when you do, put in the code FTTG15 for a 15% discount on those tickets. I want to thank Table Needs for sponsoring this episode of the 10-Minute Food Truck Training Podcast. Table Needs is a full-service POS system capable of handling your busy food truck, cash, credit card, and reporting needs. Check them out. There'll be a link in the description. So now let's talk about key ingredients that you're going to need for your food truck. These are basics. So one of the very basic ingredients that everybody should have in their pantry on their food truck, fresh herbs. Fresh herbs like cilantro or parsley or basil, thyme, all of those can elevate the flavors in your dishes significantly, and they create a burst of flavor when somebody takes that bite. They also create an aroma, and they have a freshness that a dried herb simply just can't match. You want to keep a selection of these herbs on hand to garnish and enhance your dishes and make them more appealing. Something you really need to check out if you're going to be dealing with certain food types. Now you got to also have quality spices. Spices are not herbs. Spices are the backbone of flavor in many dishes. You want to stock up on high quality spices like cumin or paprika, black pepper, chili powder, garlic powder, onion powder. All of those different things add depth of flavor, and that becomes your particular food truck's flavor profile. These spices can be used to add flavor to meats and vegetables and sauces and really pretty much anything you're cooking. You want to have a good spice selection that ensures that you have bold, distinctive flavors that sets up your food truck's flavor profile so that people know what to expect when they come to eat your food. You want to invest in olive oils and vegetable oil. Both olive oil and vegetable oils, they have an essential part in cooking and then finishing dishes. Olive oil is great for dressings and marinades and sautéing, while vegetable oil is great for deep frying and baking, obviously. Make sure to keep both of these oils on your food truck if that's something that you cook with. You always want to have plenty of those on hand because you don't want to run out when you're busy. Ingredient number 4, let's talk about fresh produce. You want to have high quality, and high quality goes for everything, but certainly high quality fresh produce is crucial for any menu that you're going to develop. You want to stock a variety of vegetables and fruits that make sense for your menu, and then also think about how versatile they are and can they be used in multiple dishes. Things like onions, tomatoes, lettuce, peppers, different kinds of peppers. Avocados are all staples that can be incorporated into salads and sandwiches and sauces and really just about anything. But you want to make sure that you're getting the high quality, the good stuff. Don't cheap out, because people will notice that in the flavor, they'll notice it in the texture, and they'll notice it in the visual appeal. Ingredient number 5 you really need to consider for your food truck is quality meats and proteins. Whether you're serving hamburgers and tacos or a stir fry, you want to make sure you're using quality meats and proteins because that's just non-negotiable. People can taste the difference. Choose cuts of meats that are fresh and flavorful. If you're offering vegetarian or vegan options, stock up on quality plant-based proteins like tofu or certain legumes. The quality of your protein will directly impact, guess what? The flavor and the satisfaction of your dishes. Low quality proteins translates into a different mouthfeel and a different taste. Dairy products, ingredient number 6. Kind of sounds like I'm covering the whole grocery store, but you got to have those quality dairy products as well. We're talking about cheese and butter and milk. Those go in a whole bunch of different recipes. Cheeses are condiments on a sandwich. You want to keep a variety of cheeses on hand to use, again, in those sandwiches and tacos and toppings. Butter and milk are key ingredients for a lot of different sauces and baking and just cooking in general. And it adds a richness and a texture to your dishes. Even when we make drinks on our food truck, we're using creams. We're using the quality ingredients to assemble that drink, that coffee. Ingredient number 7, sauces and condiments. And yes, these can be pre-made. You don't have to make every single product, but what you can do is take an existing sauce and turn it into your own. So having a variety of sauces and condiments can enhance your dishes, and it provides your guests with customization options. And no, customization does not slow you down. What slows you down is getting frustrated with it. Something that has 11 or 12 ingredients to be assembled can be done quite rapidly. So having somebody change out one for another isn't a big deal. So don't let it be a big deal. You want to stock up on essentials when we're talking about these sauces and condiments, like ketchup and mustard, mayonnaise, hot sauce, soy sauce. Those are the basics, because you can create a whole bunch of different sauces with those as a base, and then adding in some of those fresh herbs that we talked about, or adding in some of those spices that we talked about earlier. So now you got something that's unique and it matches your particular food truck, and you've created now a signature sauce that no one else has. So those are the 7 essentials. And really, it sounds like the whole grocery store if you think about it. But the idea is that you narrow down what it is you need on your food truck within those 7 different categories. And then don't be afraid to experiment. Don't be afraid to add on that LTO. LTO stands for limited time only. Don't be afraid to feature something so you can help move it. If you make that purchase of a new ingredient and realize, oh, no one's liking it, well, let's make it a special. Let's make it a feature. And then that'll help move it. As much as food trucks are all about convenience, we're also about innovation and being a little bit better than the average restaurant. But in order to be better than the restaurant, you got to understand the ingredients that you need and then keep them stocked well on your food truck. And again, like I said, don't be afraid to experiment. But let's go through that list just one more time. So number 1 on the list was fresh herbs. Number 2 was quality spices. Number 3 was oils and olive oil. So vegetable oil, olive oil. Number 4, fresh produce. Number 5, quality meats and proteins if you're a vegan or vegetarian truck. Dairy products. And the last one, number 7, was sauces and condiments. Figure out what you need out of each of those different categories, and then make sure you carry them, and then experiment so you can have a very unique and very memorable menu.